And good evening and welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm your host. This evening's topic is a general overview and what's going on with Literacy Volunteers Valley Shore. And with me to discuss this evening's topic is John Ferrara, the Executive Director of Literacy Volunteers Valley Shore. John, welcome.
Thank you, Peter.
Thanks.
Happy
How are you?
Here.
Well,
Great.
Thanks for coming down. So I was wondering, maybe can you tell us a little bit about who is John Ferrara? I understand he's the Executive Director of Literacy Volunteers Valley Shore, and what exactly you do, and then what the organization does.
Well, what's more important than who I am is the role in the organization. And Literacy Volunteers is an organization that is tasked with teaching English, basically, to students in the Valley Shore area.
All right.
We cover 11 towns, and we began as a way to assimilate refugees, the Laotian boat people back in 1979. So we're celebrating our 35th year of teaching English, and English is a second language, to the 11 towns that stretch from Guilford to Lyme, Old Lyme, and north to Chester, Killingworth, and that area.
All right. So I understand you have a board of directors. How many members of the board does the organization have?
Well, big one. You know that there
are
me. 13 members, and in fact, your last interview with one of the presidents of our board resulted in you coming on board with us.
That's right.
That was 5 years ago.
So it's all his fault.
So yeah, that's it. You're here because of him, because of Tom Huppert.
That's right. And from what I understand, you guys are actually the board is looking for a new president, but they have somebody filling in right now.
We do. Sharon Colvin, who is the vice president, is filling in as the acting president right now. But we do have an opening on the board, and we are looking for someone else to fill that, who has the experience and interest to work with us to raise funds and to drive the policies that are going to drive us forward.
Now, as far as if people want more information on becoming a board member or volunteering, is there a website that they should go to?
Funny you should ask. Yes, there is.
I think so.
It's www.vsliteracy.org.
Okay.
And we have all our information there as to what's involved in volunteering and the roles on the board, as well as volunteers for tutoring and working at the bookstore.
Nice. And I was going to say, you guys have an ongoing book sale, don't you?
We do, yes.
Okay.
We take in gently used books, which is part of our program to raise funds, and resell them to the public at huge discounts. They're all gently loved, and we're only sure to put the freshest books and the hottest titles on the shelves.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for those of our radio and TV viewing and listening audience that don't know where the office is located.
Our main office is located right down the street here in the basement of the Westbrook Library.
Okay. And what are the hours of operation for the book sale?
We run Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Each day, and then every first and third Saturday between 10 a.m. and noon.
Okay. And if people went onto the website, what types of information can they find?
We've got a tremendous variety of information, including some of our upcoming events, our tutoring programs, information about volunteering, some of the opportunities that we have, not just board opportunities, but volunteering to help out in the office, to help the book sale, our fundraisers, and those sorts of opportunities.
Now, as far as monetary compensation for the organization, how do you run?
Well, we have a variety of funding sources. Among them, the United Way, Middlesex United Way, which provides us with the largest chunk of our funds to operate during the year. We also do get support from many of the towns in the area that we serve.
Okay, sure.
We have tremendous support from several community foundations, the Essex Community Fund, the Guilford Community Fund, which have supported us throughout the years.
Sure.
Organizations like the Community Foundation for Middlesex County, which has been a tremendous supporter consistently over the years.
Okay.
The Essex Rotary, Clinton Rotary, have all been steadfast supporters over the years. In addition to that, we do a tremendous amount of fundraising each year. Our two big events that we do right now are a wine tasting, usually in the fall of the year, and our road race, which is
Usually in the spring?
In the spring, usually around April.
Okay. And as far as let's talk about describe some of the successes of the organization.
You know, what's so rewarding about being a part of a volunteer organization is seeing how much joy it brings to the volunteers.
Okay.
And I have volunteers who tell us all the time that they get more out of it sometimes than their students do.
Right.
But we've had a tremendous number of students who have come into the program not speaking English and from disadvantaged backgrounds. And in some cases, they have gone on to own their own companies, graduate college, you know, even small successes like being able to better communicate with their doctors and their children's teachers are tremendous successes. And we've been fortunate to have almost 11,000 students who have achieved some level of success in the program over the years.
Okay. Now, as far as let's talk about and as my research says, there's numbers tell the stories. Let's talk about some numbers.
Okay. Not to make, you know, too much of numbers, but I think they tell a little bit about you know where we are. Over the last 10 or 12 years, there has been a tremendous amount of research done. One piece being the National Assessment on Adult Literacy, that's found that in the United States between 30 and 40 million adults are reading below a third grade level. And with the demand of employment these days and a global economy, to have that number of people who are not performing, are not employable, or who don't have skills that will help them maintain employment, it's very difficult for them to get into the workforce. Part of our program is developed to help them not just with their English skills, but with the life and work skills that will help them become better employees, better citizens, and better people in their community. Okay.
Now, you guys also offer a tutor training workshop.
We do.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
We have one coming up. Again, that's a program that we have that's both in the spring and in the fall.
Right, sure.
And it consists of 7 two-hour sessions. We run them in both the morning session and evening session.
Sure.
And they cover subjects that are as diverse as characterizing the adult learner, developing lesson plans, right on up to assessing students and working with them to achieve their goals.
And what is normally during the tutor training sessions, what does it normally entail?
Well, the students, we ask that the tutor trainees attend all 7 of the sessions. That's a necessity requirement that we have. Okay. And we're also looking to get them to take on a student during the course of those sessions, and to have them work with that student, begin to work with that student before the end of the session.
Now, as far as the tutor training workshops go, once the tutor is paired up with a student, where do they normally meet? Or does it vary?
It does vary, and just like the meeting times that the student and tutor meet, the meeting places depend on the needs of the student and what the tutor and student can work out individually.
Okay. Now, how have the tutor training workshops with the tutors and the students worked out so far? Everything going okay?
We've been very pleased with the progress. We have had full or nearly full classes each of the last 3 years, and we've really come down to a circumstance where we very carefully vet the tutor trainees, so that we get people who don't necessarily have an education background or a teaching background, but who are willing to make the commitment for at least a year to work with a student one-on-one, and to do it in an environment that is confidential, where there's no cost to the student, and where they can achieve the goals that the student sets and that they set together every year.
Really? Sounds like a really cool.
It's been really rewarding, yes.
And actually, you and I have actually sat in on the tutor training sessions together.
That's true.
And it's very, very rewarding.
Oh yeah,
it's very rewarding.
No question about it.
It's nice to get everybody together.
You can tell it's a good program.
It is. It's a great program. And as far as now you said you guys do 2 major events a year. You guys do a wine tasting in the fall and a road race in the spring. Oh my God. Holy cow! Are those your two major fundraisers through the year, or do you have other? What do you do besides those other 2 major events?
We do have some other fundraisers that we do. I think you're familiar with one. We have done a restaurant or a program with the restaurants to Dine Out for a Cause, which has helped bring in some funds over the years.
Right, sure.
And of course, we have our book sale, which is an ongoing fundraiser for us.
Okay.
We've done a wide variety of things, from tag sales to cookbook sales with recipes that are developed by our students.
Well, you know what? We're going to talk more about that after the break. Would you mind sticking around for another segment?
Sure thing.
We'll be right back after a short break.
Going to school pregnant, riding the bus, that was hard. You just have all the stares and you have all the questions, and even little kids make you nervous just staring at you. When you get pregnant, all the stuff just goes through your mind. Abortion, adoption, keeping him. You're his mom. You're supposed to be the one taking care of him and raising him. But when you're 15 and pregnant, you can't do it without support. I wanted to give him a better life. When I found out I was pregnant, I don't know, just a light hit me in my heart, just saying adoption is what you need to do. I really have a simple dream. I just want to get my nursing career, get married, and have a family. When I get pregnant again, give them a better life. I'm Miranda, and I chose adoption.
And welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm your host, sitting here with John Farrar from Literacy Volunteers Valley Shore. John, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thanks for sticking around.
Absolutely.
There you go. So we were talking about the first segment about a general overview of the organization. For those of our viewers and listeners that are just joining us, I was wondering maybe we can do a recap of the organization and what you guys do.
Sure. Literacy Volunteers is a all-volunteer organization that tutors English, and English is a second language.
Okay.
For students that need help, especially with developing their life and work skills. We do this completely free of charge to our students, and in a completely confidential setting. which includes us not even acknowledging that a student is working with us. But the tutors who all must go through a training course
Yes.
and be certified as tutors before they can work with a student have come to us with a commitment for a year's worth of time. And while they don't all have educational backgrounds, and that's not required, they do need to have the commitment to want to work with students and to help them achieve their goals.
Now, I know we didn't talk about this during the first segment, so let's talk about it now. The training that the tutors have to take. What's it entail? What's it entail, and
Sure.
how's it work?
Well, there are 7 workshop sessions that are taught by workshop leaders who are experienced tutors themselves.
Right.
Many of them have an educational background,
All right.
and I believe the newest workshop leader that we have has a mere 10 years of experience in tutoring and education. So you can tell that they're all well positioned to be able to bring on new tutors and to teach them the basics.
And as I was thinking about this, you and I have sat through those sessions as well.
We have many, no question.
And now, do the tutoring sessions always given by the same workshop leaders, or does it vary?
Well, the workshop leaders are kind of cohesive as a group.
Okay.
We do have a group that teaches in the morning sessions,
Yeah.
a group that teaches in the evening sessions, and they're led by Ann Lander, who is
sure.
our senior workshop leader,
Yeah, sure.
the person most responsible for developing the curriculum and putting together the programs every year. She is a former French teacher, retired French teacher, who has been with the program for the past 12 years.
Okay.
And she works with the workshop leaders to coordinate the sessions. She also trains workshop leaders, new workshop leaders as they come aboard, and oversees the whole process. So it's been very successful. We're very fortunate to have somebody with her credentials and her skills, her dedication to this, which is incredible.
Right.
She puts in, we figured out, about 300 hours for each session, spring
Really?
and fall. Yeah, so it's
Holy cow.
it's tremendous
It is.
commitment, no question.
It is. It's really tremendous. And you and I have worked together over the last couple of years on the organization, and you know you're as passionate as I am about the organization, and we do a lot of good work for a lot of good people in the area that we cover.
Well, I'm very proud to be associated with it because this is really worthwhile work, and aside from being rewarding,
Right.
we can see the results that we get.
Exactly.
We went from 96 tutors when I came on board as the executive director 3 years ago,
Okay.
to just under 200 this year.
Wow.
We were tutoring 130 students at the same time, and this year we've topped 204.
Wow.
So,
All right.
in fact, I think we're up to 216 now that we're tutoring on a regular basis.
Holy cow.
So we've made some strides, but it's just the start of climbing that Mount Everest, of filling the need that's out there. Again, those assessments that I mentioned in the first segment
Yep.
show that in this area we have just these 11 towns. We have over 14,000 adults that we have yet to reach.
Wow.
So we're getting to a point where, every new tutor that we can bring on board, every student that we can take in, because we have a new tutor, or our tutors, our existing tutors are taking on an additional student, helps to eat in a little bit to that tremendous number who need our help.
Now, as far as the areas that the organization covers, how important is literacy in this area? How many people are affected by literacy in the area, I guess?
Well, you know, we live in a population in the 11 towns that we serve of
Okay.
over 110,000 people.
Okay, sure.
It has a profound effect on our economy, on the ability of our students to come up through the system,
Right.
in our communities. The fact that the better educated the people in the community, the healthier the community is, the more people can take part in our democracy. And that's another thing. One of the things that we're very proud of is within the last year or so here, we've made 5 new citizens. And,
Really? All right.
of the citizens that we've made over the last several years, we've had 7, I believe, who are voting for the first time in this election.
Nice. Very good.
Should be
very
we can be
exciting for
proud of it.
everybody.
Absolutely. Sure.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly. Now, what other types of community outreach does the organization do to get grants and get money and get volunteers?
Well, outreach is a consistent part of our operation. And one of the things that we try and do very diligently is to get out into the meetings of the Rotary clubs, the business after hours. We are members of several of the shoreline chambers, the Middlesex Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
And we do reach out to their members as well. But we'll talk to any group, whether it's women recreating retirement in Guilford,
Right.
or you know, the Old Lyme Congregational Church
Exactly.
congregation. It is a function of trying to get to as many of those agencies as we can.
Exactly.
In addition to that,
Yes,
we've taken a new initiative this fall
we have.
to reach out to libraries, to talk to
right.
our social service partners
Yep.
in each of the towns, to get before as many of the economic development commissions as we can, because they play a role too.
Of course they
in
do.
bringing in people into their economies, into their businesses. And our students fit very nicely as they become
Of course they do.
better employees
Right.
into their plans.
Now, as far as the students getting employment in the local community area, are the local employers pretty diligent about hiring?
They have worked with us, and this is another initiative that we're planning for 2015.
Okay.
To improve the skills of their workers, and we're putting together an initiative for next year that will deepen our commitment to literacy in the workplace through programs that are a program that is designed to meet the individual needs of their workers in several of the workplaces, like restaurants, manufacturing companies, some of the assembly plants that are in the area, florists who use unskilled labor,
Right.
but whose needs are to develop their employees so that they can follow safety instructions better, that they can grow within their jobs and become more productive. A model for this program is at a company called National Sintered Alloys in Clinton,
Sure.
where we've been working with their group of employees, and they've been very successful in bringing them along. In fact, one of our success stories is a lady who was a school teacher in Columbia, came to the United States and knew very little English, got a job there and began working with a tutor in the workplace for an hour a week. And she is now, she's gone from a laborer to quality control inspector.
Really? Good for her. Good for her.
So she's come a long
Wow,
way.
Good for her. Wow. Seems like a very worthwhile organization. And if people people want more information on the organization, where should they go?
We encourage them to go to the website, www.vsliteracy.org.
Okay. And if people want to stop by the book sale on you guys do the book sale during the week when the office is open, correct?
Absolutely.
I was going to say, what are office hours?
9 to 2, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
And then our book sale is also on the first and third Saturday.
Yep.
Between 10 a.m. and noon.
Okay. And if people want to reach out to you, they should just call the office?
They can call the office, or they can reach me at my email address, which is jferrara at vsliteracy.org.
There we go. And if people want more information about the organization, that's where they should get in touch with you as far as if they want to give us donations, money, time,
Absolutely,
goods, services.
Or stop by any weekday.
Exactly, or stop by and say hello.
That's right.
Well, we're about to say goodnight, but before we do, John, I just want to thank you for coming down, and hopefully we can do this again soon.
It's a pleasure. I'm looking forward to it.
Good to see you again, my friend.
Okay, Peter.
On behalf of John Ferrara, I'm Peter Mezzetti. Thanks, good night, and we'll see you next week.